Hey Chet's parents, what's a conversation night about social media? Well, it's a conversation night where we gather together as a ministry, both our students and parents around the table to do just that, to have a conversation. If you've ever been to one before, we'll guide you through some discussion videos to both educate you about social media and its effects, as well as lead you into a time where you and your student get to have a conversation and talk about what you just learned together. And don't worry, we'll even provide the questions. Or maybe you're asking, what is even the purpose of having a conversation night? Well, we know that many parents, they go through these middle and high school years trying to figure out how to talk with their student about experiences that they go through every day in their culture, which, by the way, parents, is way different from the culture you and I grew up in. And we know that sometimes this can be difficult, even knowing when to start those conversations, whether in the car or around the dinner table or wherever. And that's why in our convo nights, there's a little comfort in the crowd. And so the purpose behind these nights are to give both students and parents a bridge to get the lines of communication open so that they can have a healthy discussion about something that is more than likely affecting their students' life on a daily basis. Now, the reason why we have these is that we want you as parents to be able to join in the discussion that your students probably already having, so you can help guide that conversation into a healthy direction. Now, even though some of your students may not encounter much social media, they likely have friends who do, which means this: exposure is going to happen anyway. Or maybe your student spends 4 hours a day on YouTube, or has a Snapchat and a TikTok and an Instagram or a Twitter, and who knows, maybe they even have a Facebook too, but probably not likely, since we all know that's your online territory, right? But as a parent, do you know what social media platforms your student is on? And do you know how their time online in these platforms are affecting them in either a positive or negative way? And then our conversation night on social media that's coming up this Wednesday night, it's designed for you. It's designed to help you leverage these platforms to have that healthy conversation with your student. You see, the goal is just to get the conversation started. Now, keep in mind that this is not a night where we want parents to come and steer the conversation in a way that leads to complaining about how much time your student spends on social media. But rather, how can you help your student view all of these platforms in a very healthy way? You see, we're going to look at things like why app developers create these platforms and how they're designed to really keep us engaged, maybe even more than we want to be. We're going to talk about how social media can often misrepresent reality and have an impact on our emotional and mental health. We'll also talk about the keys to having healthy social media habits, and finally, how to redevelop this lost art of communication face-to-face. We hope that you'll join us this Wednesday night at our Hodges campus student worship room at 6:30 p.m. It'll last a little over an hour and 15 minutes, but we're hoping that the conversation goes on long after the night is over. Help us out by going to chetstudents.com/convo to RSVP how many people that you have coming so that we can better prepare enough materials. Please be aware that we still will be having our regular Wednesday night refuel program across all of our campuses. So if you and your student don't want to participate in the conversation night, that's okay. They can still go to refuel at any one of our 4 campuses. The combo night on social media will only be taking place at our Hodges campus, and all of our parents and students are invited. So just remember that any student that doesn't come without a parent to the Hodges campus will be directed to refuel. I hope that you'll join us and you'll begin taking steps to having great conversations with your student that leads to a lifelong relationship built on trust and openness. Don't forget to RSVP at chetstudents.com/convo, and we'll see you Wednesday night.